Hey, Larry Vickers, Vickers Tactical. I got my buddy Tom from IWI, and he's going to take us through a couple of their newest offerings.
Okay.
What you got, bro?
Well, this is the TS12 shotgun. It's not offered just yet. We're kind of showing it off. It is a bullpup shotgun. Has 3 tubes, and they're right, top, left, right. Each one holds about 5 rounds of 2 3/4 inch. So you can have 15 in the magazine, 1 in the pipe, 15 plus 1, 16 rounds. The idea behind this weapon is it's got pretty intuitive controls. Right at the front, there's a latch that releases the tube itself. So you give it a turn, it'll snap into place, gets that loaded tube in line with the carrier. The cool thing about it is, once the weapon does run empty and it goes to bolt lock, as soon as I rotate that tube, if I've got a live round in there, you can go right or left. It's going to drop that round onto the carrier and automatically load it for you. So you don't have to do anything else, just literally turn it, reload, you're good to go. It's got a cross lock, safety, so that's pretty easy to figure out. You can load it either from the right side. There's a loading port on the right, loading port on the left. And then when you unload it, you're gonna push the button right behind it. It's gonna drop the shell onto the little stopper here, and you just remove them one at a time, either from right or left. That's how you're gonna unload it. Very simple. Bolt release is the only thing that will not be able to switch from left to right. So you can move the safety operation to a left-hander, you can move the charging handle over. The ejection is going to be a separate bolt. You drop into it, and then you can swap it over for left eject, okay? A couple other little things that we threw on there. We got M-lock rails run along the sides for lights or whatever you're going to do. And then it's actually got Benelli Beretta chokes in the front. So it's something common, nothing too crazy. Guys who might have a Salvo 12 or something like that out there, you can attach it onto the end of it and shoot it if you really feel the need to put a suppressor on a shotgun.
Gas operated?
It's gas operated, short stroke gas piston.
And then, it's one of those things that looks bulky, but I remember picking it up. It's not nearly as heavy as you might think.
It's lighter than you think. And it's actually, like typical bullpups. It's kind of heavy in the back. So when you put 15 rounds, it starts to balance out over the pistol grip. As you shoot it out, it starts to lighten back up again. It does have a heavy and light setting on the gas port. You use the charging handle, set it to where you need to have it. Right now, one of the main things we're trying to sort out, we'll get to that, the elephant in the room, it's not released yet, is it'll run heavier loads pretty well, but we want it to run lighter loads. So you go to Walmart, grab, Federal Birdshot, whatever, and still have it function, and that's really what we're trying to hone down before we release it. We could release it, shoot the heavy stuff, fine, but to be honest with you, most folks are going to want to shoot this recreationally, not have to pay an arm and a leg for ammo. The hotter stuff typically is more expensive, sometimes harder to find, and we want it to be more available.
Yeah,
so,
and that's always the issue with these gas-operated shotguns.
Yeah.
You got a few things, and you got such a wide spectrum of ammo.
Exactly.
It's a real engineering challenge.
Exactly right, and it's very common. You're right, and that's what we're trying to screw down.
Cool. So that's still to be determined for availability and whatnot.
Yeah, when it's ready, and it'll be good to go. That's what we're going for.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Okay, what do we got over here?
We have, it's not really new insofar as IWI has had the GL40 for a while. It's new here. We're bringing it to the U.S., mainly for law enforcement type market. And it's a 40mm grenade launcher. You would recognize it like a 203 almost. Pull forward, rotate outboard, so you can access the tube, the longer rounds or whatever. You can reverse it too, so I can actually have it go to the other side if you're a left-hand southpaw guy. Safety's real similar, ambidextrous to what you would see, kind of on an X95. It's about a 35-degree throw, and you're good to go. The cool thing about it is, let's say I don't want to carry it on the rifle. So law enforcement, we typically are not going to run a grenade launcher on, less lethal on lethal. We don't like doing that. It's a little weird for us. Or a guy in the field, maybe he just wants to patrol with the rifle, have the GL40 around if he needs it. So what you can do is you pop a pin, slide this off, grab this little guy right here, and now it's attached to a stock. And if you want to make it a little bit more compact, slap it, and now it's even smaller. So there's 2 length barrels on this one. The barrel length on this is 12 inches. There's a 9-inch or 2. There's a couple little things they incorporated in there that they experienced. They have 203s over there, you know that. And they put them on the Tavors. They adapted it and put it on the Tavor. But one thing that they found was the crown on the 203 could get dinged real easily. You're in the mountains, up in the Golan Heights or whatever. Patrolling, he gets hits the crown, not good anymore. So they actually overmolded the polymer, past the crown. So if this takes a hit, no problem. If this gets damaged, this sleeve can be replaced, but the barrel stays intact and you can just continue running it. Very simple. Maintenance on this is simple too. Just push this other pin across, pull forward, and the whole thing just comes off. Now I can clean it, do whatever I need to do, drop it back on, I'm good to go. Very simple system. There's a couple different sights for it, grenade launcher sights. This is the one that comes with it in the case. And you recognize this is a kind of a standard quad sight. You know, you have the flip up deal here. Polymer, it actually takes a beating a little bit better, still a little bit more fragile. And then the other sight that they have is a Mepro sight, it's called a GL40 sight. And all you do is you elevate this, the grenade launcher on the bottom of it. With your right eye, you'll look through, you'll see the dot in here. With your left eye, you'll see the target. And the longer you look, the images will superimpose on top of each other. So I set my range, I zero this for 200 meters, you know, and then go from there. And all I have to do is kind of keep the weapon in line. Now the advantage of this guy, aside from the fact it's robust, is you know this from shooting a 40 quite a bit. If I get the recoil more center line, I can get that round to launch a little straighter. It's a slow moving round, so you really got to hold on and maintain a good position on it to be accurate. This gets it more center line. I'm literally looking through it as I'm launching it. It's a very accurate way of doing it, and you'd be surprised how accurate you can get with this.
Now I see it's mounted right there behind the aim point.
Yep.
Is that something that's standard, or is it normally swap this out? How does that work?
This would come off. It would be mounted in line. This is a special sight that Mepro makes. This is a Mepro setup here, and they can put whatever optic on there they want. There just happens to be an aim point on this. But yeah, if I'm fighting the rifle, I just look at the aim point. If I need to start setting range and shooting rounds, I'd bring this up and I'm gonna start focusing on this sight and start lobbing my rounds and you're good to go. Very interesting system, and it's pretty lightweight too. Now the cool thing about it, again, bullpups have an unforeseen advantage when it comes to mounting stuff forward. I've got weight back here, so right now it's rear heavy. I put the 40 on there, and it's not as bad as, like, say if you had a 203 on an M4 and then all the stuff you have to put on front.
Right, really makes it front heavy.
Yeah, it's very front heavy. This is a little bit easier to manage weight-wise. It's still, you know, it's adding weight. You're still going to be in the 10-pound area with this added on 10, 11, but it's a little bit more over the hand, and it's just a little bit easier to deal with.
Good deal. Now, this has been on the market for a while overseas,
correct.
right?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. But we have some interest here. We've had a couple agencies that are already grabbing onto it or latching onto it that are interested because it is so lightweight. And, you know, typical law enforcement agency, they're shooting 50 meters through a window. I mean, they're putting gas rounds or less lethal, something like that. Not a big deal. So they're not, you know, doing the military thing where they're lobbing at 200 or 300 meters. It's real short range. So the shorter barrel can be kind of an advantage, compact, easier to manage, easier to deal with. Pretty slick.
Cool, bro.
Yeah.
Excellent. As always, thanks a million.
Absolutely.
As always, killed it. Hope you enjoyed it from IWI SHOT Show 2019. We got more coming your way. LAB out.